Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
My name is Patrick Holbert.
And I'm Ross Erin Martineau.
Ross, Erin, and Patrick. I love you, and it's been way too stupid long since we talked. Years, in fact.
Great to see you. It's great to
Yes.
see you.
It's good to see you. Patrick said, I have a new special out. Hi. And I'm like, you could just say hi anytime, buddy. And I'm sorry I wasn't clear about that.
I'm such a shrewd asshole.
Now I got work to do just to catch up.
I'm
That's
so
true.
sorry.
How you guys doing in general?
We're great.
Yeah, we're
great.
good.
Yeah, last time we were on, we've been on twice. So we did the 24-hour marathon.
Right.
Post-child, she was probably about 2, and then we were in studio right before the pandemic hit, and Ross had a big old pregnant belly.
Yeah.
And now we have a nearly 5-year-old child. So
Good Lord. Good
life
Lord.
has moved on.
Yeah.
Let me catch people up if you don't mind. First of all, the first time you were on, one of the most open guests Kemp and I have ever had, and that's the
Wow.
truth. And
Ever?
ever, I would say so. In fact, we got nervous at first because you guys were like, you know what, we don't care. We'll say our personal, stupid, sick shit. We're an open book, and we're like, these motherfuckers and their open books. It's never their book somehow. It's some other book, and it's never detailed. Actually, the worst guests I find happen to be authors, as a matter of fact,
yeah.
speaking of
Wow.
open books. Maybe because they don't have time to edit, and they think too much, and they're
And what do you think it is? They end up telling like family secrets or,
They
secrets
don't.
from yeah.
they don't share shit. And I understand everybody's not us, but at the same time, they walk around as if they are. And it's like, you're
Yeah.
not,
I see.
and that's okay too. But don't put open book in the email, and then I get a complaint email after the show that I asked about personal things.
You're like,
Right,
hey,
right.
we're still in the table of contents here. Let's get
Right.
to the book part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, well, let's skip to the appendix.
no.
Right.
If anything, we're oversharing. You're like, take it easy with this.
If the book said like chapter 1, tits, and you open it up and it's just pictures of dicks, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
That's unfair.
It's
That's not right.
unfair.
And you have to you can't judge books by their covers, so you have to judge it by the contents. And if the person isn't
Yes.
actually reading the book, it's like, what is this? What are we?
This
an audiobook?
analogy is crazy.
So this first show, by the way, behind me I have a sign, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. You're every show we've ever done in 20 years. I
Whoa.
say listen to the first time they were on episode 32, and they
Oh.
come out right out of the gate, and you hear about their relationship, their open marriage, which we'll catch up on. But we're like, how did this start? And it started, of course, with Patrick's infidelity. And
Oh.
he mentioned, me and my girlfriend, Ross Erin, were talking about an open relationship, and it's like, oh, okay, and so I did it, and
I mean, I'd made the move. I opened our marriage.
You did.
I mean, I deserve.
He
I deserve.
fucking kicked the door in.
yeah, it reminds me of Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. And Ashton gets caught cheating, and he goes, "Oh, I thought we talked about maybe introducing a third person in the bedroom." And Demi's like, "Am I a fucking idiot all of a sudden?" Yes, we talked about it. Yes,
Sure.
we went online and looked at pictures. You deliberately didn't tell me you were so doing this relationship a favor. And then on top of it, the way Patrick tells you is coming from a beautiful retreat. You guys are
Yeah.
making love, fixing, relationships. I know what it's like, can turn into the friend zone, but somehow you guys are connected again, best sex ever. And as you're driving, Patrick, holding her hand, you go, I got something to tell you. No, I think it's going to be good.
The ultimate gaslight.
Oh, this is so
The
fun.
ultimate gaslight. The flip in reverse. I'm
Yeah.
like, huh?
It's so funny to relive this.
Trapped in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when
And,
you want
and
to.
you can't look at the other person. You're like, it's like, look me in the motherfucking eyes. Baby, I'm driving. I still care about you.
I'm just 10-2, white knuckling the
Yeah.
wheel,
Yeah.
praying to God she doesn't murder me.
Doing like the dog side eye. Like,
Right. Right. When they take a shit outside. Right.
Did I do a bad? Oh man,
I think you were. That was one of the times you were the most scared of me as well.
it is insane. I appreciate you recapping for the listener, but it is
Sure.
insane to relive this because it does feel like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
And when we shared with you about it in person, I guess at that point, that story was 2.5 years old or something already.
Which is pretty fresh. That's why I'm saying you guys are such good guests.
Yeah.
I do like the idea though of you if you owe somebody an apology or they caught you doing something wrong, or even if you admitted you did something wrong, if you can find a way to show fear in your face. When I was in the Army, if I did something wrong, the drill instructor was about to give me the business. And I'm like, okay. And I quickly did like 20 push-ups. And that's all I got to do because I did it to me.
Right.
So that's a good trick he did.
That's smart. You're just dropping him twice.
I should have been doing push-ups.
Right. You should have done push-ups, but you were driving.
I might steal that for the future because I surely will fuck up more in this marriage.
Sure.
Actually, since we're talking about it, I one of our last podcast episodes is me owning a sort of lapse in judgment and a lapse in how we do our open marriage. And
oh boy,
sort of
what was this lapse? Ross, Erin, what was this lapse? No, let's hear.
I mean, in all fairness, I've had some lapses too. So
okay.
It's a two-way street. It just wasn't in this.
What are we talking about?
Well, yeah. What's your version of it? What's
your lapse?
Yeah, this recent one. I'm curious if I did a good enough job manipulating you.
Oh my God, he's doing sit-ups right now.
Just doing leg lifts.
Yeah. I'm actually clenching my asshole. I'm just praying I'm not in trouble.
Well, in fairness to him, he has actually not been out in them streets much at all and has had much less of an interest. And he happened to be on like a little tour, like he was gone for about 10 or 11 days or something. And I was like, hey, while you're out on the road, do you want to like do your thing? Like get on the app, whatever,
right.
Like just so you know, that's okay. He was like, yeah, maybe we'll see. And so then one night he texted me and was like, hey, I think I'm going to go meet up with somebody. Is that okay? And
Say what I said. It's funny.
I don't really remember.
I said, hey, just a heads up. I might hook up with a sturdy Midwesterner tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
And I said, good for you.
Right.
Go get it, girl. And so then, then the next day I was like, okay, did you have a good time? And he's like, yeah, it was great. I'm like, cool. So then he gets home.
I get home like 6 days later.
Yeah, 6 days later. And then like a few days, like 3 days of being home, you come out of the bathroom a random day, afternoon, and because we're both like,
and you say, can we go for a ride? We got to talk.
Can we run an errand? I have an emotional
one. We're driving upstate for no apparent reason.
I have an emotional errand to run. Can we get in the car?
I only do this if the ride's about 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, and then he just like randomly comes out of the bathroom and he's like, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, oh God. And he's like, I saw another person while I was out there. I was like, okay. Like, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, I don't know. It just happened so fast. I didn't really know if I was even going to meet up with them. And I was like, okay, but like,
is the rule to say, or there is no rule? Why is he making it dorky?
No, the rule, I mean, the unspoken for quite some time because it's been spoken for so long is that like, yeah, you just clear it before. Like, I'm going to go be out with somebody. Really more like in case of emergency reason, like, God forbid I need to like get him on the phone and be like, I'm going to the hospital with our daughter. You know what I mean?
I know multiple poly people, not to brag, I'm hip. Every couple that I know, somebody pulled that trick and didn't say when it was promised to say, which sometimes it's like, no, I'm allowed to, stranger, but let me make a phone call real quick. Maybe that takes the whole thing out of the mood, and that's why they don't do it. But of course, if rules are rules, rules are rules.
Well, yeah, and what happened here was I arrived in Chicago, and I was like, I had a hotel room for like 3 hours before my gig, and I was like, I'm going to sit and just do my video editing work that I brought with me. And then, of course, I'm scrolling the app. Somebody hits me up. Next thing I know, I'm inviting this person to come to the show. Mind you, the whole time I'm thinking, I just had this really cool experience 2 nights ago. I feel sated. I feel like that was plenty adventure because I haven't hooked up with anybody for like a year. So I don't even really want to use my time for this. Like, I want to do my gig, come back, try to get more work done.
He thinks he's better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And next thing I know, I invite this person to the show. She comes to the show. And even while she was there and we're like chatting and whatever, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I even want to hook up with this person.
But it'd
Like,
be rude not to give a backstage pass. He took
Yeah,
the time.
it was a very fancy restaurant brewery where,
Right.
yeah.
He drove all the way out
But
from
Mhm.
God knows.
and when I
where.
was saying all this to Ross, she said, and I said, I'm like sitting next to this person at this show. I don't even know if I want to hook up. Ross was like, that's when you text me. You
Right.
say, hey, by the way, I'm at this show. I invited this girl out. I don't know what's up, but just want to give you that. And she's
Right.
so right. And
I didn't want to
just-
waste your time, honey, if nothing happened.
No, it sort of is that. And it's also, I think,
Which I get.
part of the reason I'm not part of the reason I'm in the most domesticated version of myself right now in my marriage is all the communication does tire me out, and it's like the day to day.
Me too, and I'm single. I mean, I'm only seeing one person. Why do we gotta
Right.
keep talking?
Totally, and with like our child and her school schedule, we both have 3 jobs. Like
3 jobs
It's-
each.
it's a
We
lot
have
of
a dog. It's
yeah.
a lot.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
fucking schedule, the Google Calendar, the calling people, the
If I got to
following
do
up.
one more spreadsheet based
Yeah.
on fucking, no less.
Yeah.
Truly.
So I guess I just was in this place of like, well, if I meet this person and don't have sex with her, then what does Ross ever need to know? And that's also part of it that
Scandal.
when she does, we did hang out afterward. I drove her home ostensibly, but on the way home,
What's ostensibly?
well,
What the
she
fuck
got
does this
in the-
word mean? Let me Google this.
She got in the car under the pretense that I was going to drive her home. And then she said, I would hang out longer if you wanted to. And I was like, have you ever seen the inside of a Red Roof Inn? And,
Right.
And she was
Dude.
like, yeah, all the time.
yeah. No. So we went there. And then,
I'm a professional.
and then the truth is we did not have sex because she was on her period. But we messed
Eye
around.
roll.
We messed
Right.
around. And then,
that makes Ross even angrier. Like, really? Really?
I did. I was like, oh, now we like don't fuck on our periods. Okay. I thought we were feminists.
Right. World's not falling apart as it is, but no. Ew, gross. Did you turn her into the SS?
I just didn't want to get that cleaning fee.
Sure. Good one.
No, and then yeah, so I basically had like a high school level hookup, and I'm like, do I need to tell her about that?
But also, what really I think the secret was this woman
Mhm.
who was of age but was quite young.
I see.
And
I had mixed feelings about that.
and I think that was really at the heart of being like, I shouldn't be. What am I doing hanging out with this girl?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, in her 20s, but still,
Right.
you know,
You're not
push comes
nervous?
to-
Did she know that you're poly?
yes.
on
and,
that
like,
app,
yeah,
you know,
Oh, I
on
see.
the field
Poly.com.
app.
Poly.com/whores. Yes.
I'm the whore. She was a very nice lady.
No, I meant you. I didn't mean her.
Oh, she knows. She knows she's nice. She's making a collage of you already.
Out of period blood.
Yeah. You're her dream board, whatever the fuck.
Vision board. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You
Boy.
know. You relate to her. You get it.
So I guess we're sharing that to say that like I think we're doing this all successfully, but not perfectly.
No, not perfectly. I mean,
Did the relationship between you and Ross? You're saying?
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah, that we're still in an open marriage. There's been hiccups. Like I would say this hiccup was not as hard as in September, like when I like basically asked her like, can we not do this for a while?
Mhm.
I was gonna ask that because I asked you this like 5 years ago. Did anything change? Do you wish you didn't cheat because maybe she wouldn't want to go poly if you never did that?
Well, no, and that's actually not the source of why I would want to stop or slow down or take a break. Like, I think after a couple of her relationships happening or hookups happening, it like made it much easier to understand. Like, oh, this is like it is equal. Like it is, we both get to like have this our own lives, and I want that for her as much as I want that for me.
Yeah.
I think more recently, it's just life itself has felt so hard. With
Being comedians and a yoga instructor in New York City, I'm taking. You mentioned before Debtors Anonymous.
yeah.
Does it ever get on your nerves, Ross? Like another woman you had to take out. They take me out.
Yeah. I mean, that's
we've had those kinds of conversations for sure. I mean, like, like you're joking on some level, right? But like, it's less about the money and more like I just want to be, I want to be wined and dined a little bit,
Right.
minus the wine because we don't drink. But, but I also like, there was a period exactly like a year ago where we were kind of disconnected. Our daughter, she's like 3 years old, challenging. We're like figuring out life as parents. And I like started dating somebody that was pretty chaotic. And Patrick and I were not spending enough time together. And I was definitely going other places to like get those needs met.
Right.
And he wasn't really questioning it too much. And I got like love bombed and ghosted by a person that brought a lot of chaos into my life, which then in turn brought a lot of chaos into our family's life.
Do you ever say that to Patrick? Like, this fucking guy isn't calling me back. Oh, you're kidding, baby. Oh, I hope you sleep good.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I'm there for you, my mate. But okay, I hope you'll be okay. And he's not even calling you. But he gave the flowers to our house. That's rude.
Kind of.
there were times. I mean, I definitely nursed her through a couple.
And you're like, baby, come here. And she's like, that's not the point.
which he's so good in the moment of like being there for me. And then of course, like a couple days goes by and I know that he's like pissed that he had to like caretake me through some of their breakup.
She's like, you're not holding me the way he would.
Right. She moves your hand like up. It's like, well, this is a new way of. It's kind of uncomfortable for me because I'm 2 inches taller than. Oh, wait a second.
It is an interesting dynamic because it's like this person you love so much, and then they're telling you a thing they want to go do, and it's a mistake. Like there was one guy who was like an old ex of hers, and this comes up.
That's what kicked off a bit of a downward spiral.
This comes up in the polyamory like subreddit. It's like, should I pursue an old ex? And people
the
are
answer
always
is
like,
no.
No, because there's feelings there.
The answer is no.
And there's history and like there's.
I didn't study this, but no, there's a difference.
Yeah, so she went for it. And
well, he didn't live here either. He lived in LA. And so I was like, it's safe. He's like thousands of miles away.
Okay.
Yeah. So it went as we all predicted.
Right.
And I don't know. I think by the time that last summer was over, it was just like, this is all. And you brought up money. Like money has been our probably biggest stressor. Right. And like, it's like time and money just feels so limited right now. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
But I think like ultimately, at least my therapist and I think
right
that those,
and she agrees
that, those experiences were valuable in the sense that I do actually feel like in the end, it brought us closer and made us realize that like we weren't spending enough energy on each other, which is the most important thing.
I get caught, and then I'm like, no, baby, that taught me I need to be with you more.
Yeah.
It sounds fucked up, but it's true.
It is. And like like we all hear celebrities who like get divorced after 4 months, or I have plenty of family that have had short-lived marriages and stuff, and you hear like what happened, and I'm always like, oh, like it's interesting that they're just gonna end it over like one little slip up with a dominatrix.
Right.
One little getting pegged by some sex worker. What do you mean?
Come on, like stick around. Like this,
come on.
Like it is. I don't know. It's just sad to me that people aren't willing to dig a little deeper and see like what your relationship is actually made of, and like go.
Yeah, but to dig deeper in other people is interesting. That's all I'm saying.
We have all got different paths.
Just reach that fist up inside. Get a fist up inside yourself to see what's in there.
Hey, God doesn't make mistakes. Would you guys ever be somewhere separate, like, maybe somebody's on tour, maybe somebody's on vacation with somebody else or whatever. Comes back home, you start fucking, and you're like, somebody learned something new, or you were
Oh,
taught
that's
something
interesting.
new. That ever happen? Like, you
I
could just ask, but you're really forcing this.
Yeah, actually, she blew me once recently where I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Who taught you
Like
three hands?
I've known you for 14 years, and this is really something.
You're like, do you want to call Bob again? Because I had a dog, and I would take the dog to just to like daycare, and the dog came back so much smarter time after time, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go for a grooming again, see what happens. This is a smart dog.
This all is just dog training at
There's
the end of the day.
benefits.
That's
That's
what I mean.
all we're saying. There's benefits. Okay.
Yeah, and also I think the opposite is true where it's like sex with her is truly making love.
Oh.
And it's
Oh.
it could be like
You hear what it sounds like. Oh, a feeling.
and it could be really, really nice and low pressure and just like truly like a reason to connect and like
Yeah.
Like it
and
could
also
be.
also
I mean, it's always scheduled and it's always daytime.
and
Right,
it's
right.
always and it's always pretty quick. It's always like
Ugh,
that-
I don't have.
I love you.
like hey we
It's
knocked
still hot. It's
Back at
still
you.
hot.
we did that in 11 minutes and now we have time to do all the other shit we got to do.
We have had some great, like, very challenging money meetings because we're self-employed. So we got to like do all this
Right.
fucking bullshit, to stay on top of our lives. And we've had like some really challenging, like, money, family, business meetings, and then been like, okay, we should probably have sex.
Yeah.
And then like go and have sex. And we're like, we still fucking got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So to me, that feels like a very healthy.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And the baby is not Dominican, correct?
She is.
Okay.
She is a lily white.
Yeah.
She is
Okay.
Aryan Nation. She's actually working on Trump's campaign currently.
I remember some time ago. It's hard to keep track of them, I got to worry they don't have lice. Next thing you fucking know. Boy. You were seeing your relationships. It sounded like Ross was more emotional and lasts longer. Is that true?
Typically, yeah.
And when those fall apart, because they do, relationships do. Patrick, do you have to console her in those moments?
Yeah. I did a fair amount of that. Yeah, I think with her.
Do you
biggest
take note? Like,
relationship-
here's what they did wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, the one person last summer was just so erratic and they sounded young and like, yeah. I think just staying on top of my own well-being and self-care and recovery and all those good things. Like this person just seemed a little.
They were unwell. I mean, they were
Unwell,
like
yeah.
literally manic. And it
Yeah.
was
Right.
it was a bad scene.
So,
So-
I think that was probably a reminder to continue to just be like the consistent person in her life.
To
like,
not become bipolar.
right. Yeah.
Don't do it.
As hot as it is.
I mean, and honestly,
Apparently.
it is a big turn on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, I fell in love. It was a 3-month relationship, but it felt long. And I did feel like I was in love. And I think that person probably has shades of, I don't know if it was bipolar. Yeah. Shades of something that were very,
Untreated, maybe.
yeah. And also
Right.
just very compelling and like very exciting. And,
Is this during
feels-
this relationship, by the way?
During our
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
post baby and everything. Like Fran was like 2 years old when Patrick was dating this person. Yeah.
Do you guys share the word love? Like, I do love this other person. Obviously, nothing to worry about because we're weirdos.
Yeah.
Yes, we
and-
have let each other know that.
And
Okay.
actually, a problem for me that I've learned, and I'm not sure if I've ever shared this with Ross.
But I don't like when you
Breaking.
put their cards on our fridge. That's a little much. Happy Valentine's Day, lover.
Well, that's a thing that happened when our kid was probably 2. She was like sort of rummaging through some of her stuff, and she found a sunglasses box, and
Oh,
she
God,
opened this
yeah.
box of sunglasses,
It's just last summer.
but there were no sunglasses inside. It was all these like photo booth strips of her
Gotcha.
and her boyfriend, who I'd never seen what he looked like, and I was careful to like,
And we weren't together anymore.
because compartmentalization has always worked for me. Like I don't want to know what this guy looks like and whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's just all these pictures on the floor of her with this person, and I'm like,
I don't think it was all these pictures. I think it was like one. I think it was one.
It was like the woman in
were-
Homeland's trying to figure out a murder on her floor.
It was like one Polaroid, but okay.
Right.
and my child is like, is that my real father?
Right.
So that was a thing.
So
And
I
you know what's-
introduced our daughter to deep fakes.
yeah. But you know what's interesting is actually this is a psychological thing. Like now that I think of it, I cannot picture what he looks like. I definitely saw it and I stopped looking or whatever, and it didn't. So he was not all that memorable to me.
But that's who I'm friends with now, correct? Yeah.
Is it rude that he doesn't know?
I think
You don't
he
know what
thinks
my
that-
friend looks like?
No, I think that came up for him though. Like I think once upon a time he had said he had to stop listening to our podcast because he didn't
Yeah.
like that I knew you so well. And
But now I'm very good friends with him, and like he was actually just asking my advice because he hasn't had like long-term successful relationships. Like he's a total like poly sex nerd and has not had like most of his like long-term primary partners have been with people that are a little unstable and need to do some work on themselves.
Are you guys surprised how many people you date turns out they don't get it and maybe they're faking and they're poly, but this can work out and you'll leave your husband? Or vice versa. Does everybody get it or no?
I'm surprised how many people try to do don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we have had a lot of other partner. I don't know I just don't think we're doing it as much as like people are doing it. So our sample size might be kind of small.
Yeah. But I was just going to say that this person who now was my partner for a number of years, but now is just a very good friend. He was actually reaching out to ask me how Patrick and I make it work and
how do we take care of
how
each
do we
other?
take care of each other, because he needs to he's looking for somebody that he doesn't feel like he has to take care of, that it's more like a mutual. And I was like, yeah, we are so advanced. Please come talk to us anytime.
And it's easy. We just live, laugh, love.
That's right.
You know?
Just that simple.
I'm sure that's in your fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever rate you guys to just be like, that you have sex with on the side? It's like, just saying hi, how's your day? And you're like, ugh, it's not that.
Yeah. I think that's been a transition for me. Like early on, I was most interested in like hookup partners and whatever. But I think now I do. I kind of crave like a more of a girlfriend kind of a thing, and
you do.
I think
right now.
Not right now. Like I do want it, but I also don't have the time.
But I don't want to put in any effort.
No,
right.
It's just
if they do it, you've heard about me. The woman called me for tickets. I'm not barking out there. I'm an adult.
Well, actually, my last gal pal, I would say girlfriend. She just sent a very nice update kind of text.
Nice.
Type of thing. I told you about it. She was listening to our podcast and loved it, and is obsessed with Ross. And
wait, which one?
And Queens.
Oh yes. Okay, that's very nice.
So
that's sweet. Would it be too much if you caught him sharing memes?
No. I mean, that's its own love language.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what is something like if. Well, we've always said like, all right, no comedians, no
people in recovery that like are in our 12-step recovery circle.
Right. Yeah, that's where we met each other. That's our thing.
Yeah.
Off limits, because you do see those people on the app for sure.
Oh, I see. That's funny.
Oh, I want to go back to love. I just wanted to say that I have discovered about myself that it's a turn on to me to say I love you to somebody.
Really?
In the act, during the act.
Oh, that's news.
This is new.
This is
must be nice.
Hot off the press.
So I think I guess I haven't told you about that.
Are you just like saying it to people?
No. Well, see that was the thing.
Yeah, and that's wrong. But God, I love it.
But we're talking the juices are going.
To see the shock in their eyes.
I say in
No.
love. Blah!
No, luckily, the first person this came up with, I did take a moment to ask for their consent to say it.
May I
And
say I love you? That's saying it.
and it became upsetting because she she did have strong feelings
This
for
is the
me.
woman who couldn't handle it, also, correct?
I think
Yeah.
we'll have to
I'm out of focus.
talk afterward about. But yeah, she basically was like, I don't feel comfortable with that because
Well, good. I didn't say it, bitch.
Yeah. I'm just saying what I wanted to say.
Said that they
Right.
were in love with anyone.
If one was two, as per a person that would mostly. So what? So I don't want to gloss over this. Do you wish, if you had your druthers, that you guys were monogamous, Patrick?
No, because like that last month on
It was
my
a confusing
trip,
time.
No, it was on my trip. No, it was like really nice to have the experiences I
Okay.
did have, and now I'm like buddies with those two people, and like we're in touch every few days probably.
Wow.
It's not like a whole thing or anything, but it's not. It felt very nice and autonomous and liberating and fun, which I need. Like she meant it when she said you should go on the app while you're on the road, because she can tell that I'm like kind of in a place right now of like
fucking let loose, for God's
But
sake.
when was the time period that you did want it to be monogamous?
in the fall, like it was I remember very
It's the
specifically.
spring now.
It was my kids' first day of school. Ross was like in negotiations with some new guy or something, and this brings up another complication.
Yes.
Which is that it's much easier for me to handle her meeting new women than it is for me when she wants to meet a new guy.
And it's weird when she goes, I'm about to leave now. How do I look?
Right. Yeah. I'm about to go practice my deep throating on
I'm
someone
like,
else right now.
My tits are out. The red lips are on. You think he's going to like it?
How's my breath?
And I think so. Yeah, it was like school was starting, money was tight, I was overworked.
We were not in a good place, and we hadn't been for a little while. We actually like went back to couples therapy for a little bit, like, and we had to kind of like work through some shit. And I think there was some like everything feels so hard and so complicated. Like, let's just be monogamous to like simplify our lives. And I was like, no, thank you.
Gotcha.
I think something that came up for me was like, we have made it, like we own our home, we have this awesome kid, we're both like on track for like our professional dreams to come true. Like,
fingers crossed.
Why do we think we need anything else beyond this? It felt like, I mean, this is probably me just saying shit that sounds good or whatever, but like I really felt like I was in this place of like we shouldn't be allowed to have more than we have.
Then you got pussy again. You're like, I get it. That's why I'm in this business.
Right.
How silly. Oh,
Yeah.
the silly shit we say.
Yeah.
When you do stand up, for example, and you do talk about some of this stuff, and you said, no to fucking comedians. Do comedians come to you, Patrick, and go, would your wife like me? I'm cool.
Oh, like a guy.
Yeah.
There was one person who like, I think he just made a bad he was trying to make a bad joke about it. But no, I've never in earnest. Nobody's
Okay.
ever.
And thankfully, for the most part, I pretty much like as a collective, I dislike white straight male comedians like very
Right.
much. So it's not that much of a risk.
Right. Right.
He's
Okay.
like he has slipped through the cracks as the one that I really like. And
Right.
one might say.
I entered like a backwards Trojan horse or something.
Yes.
Like I became a comic after we met.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. You checked her. Do you guys role play? And if so, do you got to find a line like, no, you're being the Dominican. I can tell. You want me to act like we're on the island.
I'm like, ding dong, Poppy's home.
Right. Do you guys role play? And does it get weird because you have this lifestyle? Like, how much of it is true that you're making me be something?
She'll sometimes tough talk me in bed, She'll
Yeah.
tell me to be a good boy or
Oh, because you
just
like
'cause-
the submissive stuff, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not really like full on. The role is just, kind of dom sub, but in a very kind of low pressure kind of way,
Right.
I would imagine. But
Yeah.
I do think that him opening up about that years ago and us being able to like actually explore that has helped our sexual relationship a lot.
Yeah, and I think the role play is like, hurry up, we got to get shit done later.
Right.
What we role play being in a rush.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
it
let's
fits.
go.
We are.
I know what's going to get it done.
When your kid found these old pictures, obviously too young to talk about your exciting lifestyle, have you discussed what age, when? I'd rather say something before the school finds out. Have you thought about it or not yet?
That's very interesting because we're both on social media publicly. We link to our podcast. One of my kids' teachers said, "Hey, we have a 5th grade class that's learning about podcasting. Would you come in to talk to them about podcasting?" And I said yes, but then I'm like, if any of them are like smart, they'll Google us and
Right.
then listen to some stuff and we talk about things that would get I just was on Reddit yesterday. Somebody got fired from being a nurse or something at a hospital because they mentioned that they're polyamorous at work and
Wow.
I
They
don't
thought it
think
meant they
it's-
fuck all the patients.
right.
They don't know what
yeah.
it means.
Well, the person they mentioned it to was another nurse, and that person thought they were sexually they were coming on to them. They were like, but I don't think being polyamorous is socially acceptable in a real way outside of
No.
Bushwick. And her educators, they have not asked me again to come do it. So I wonder if they did look us up. I don't know.
No, they didn't look us up.
And then with our kid, I do think about that a lot, especially in terms of I just did a podcast that's coming out where I talk about going to a sex party with a bunch of dominatrixes, and then I am doing the Risk podcast this summer that I'm going to tell another part of our whole original story on there. And I'm like, what am I doing? Should I be using a pen name, like a pseudonym? Like, is this stupid that one day my kid is going to hear me talk about putting on women's underwear or whatever?
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about it in the context of when is the time that we would talk about it? And then we kind of dissolve into joking about oh, she's being raised in Bushwick. Like by the time she's old enough, she's going to be like, gross.
Right.
Everybody's polyamorous. I don't need to hear about
I was
this.
afraid. I thought you guys were boars. That's good to know.
Yeah.
By the way, what a sexy name for a town, right? Bushwick. That's interesting. That's
It's
where the
Dutch.
freaks are. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely, as a queer woman, I do, I have a gay agenda with my daughter. And I do definitely
Right.
tell her, I'm like, yes, mom is married to dad, but I have had relationships with women.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think I've fallen in love with girls too. And she's like, oh. So I'm always asking her, she'll tell me she has a crush on a boy. And I'm like, what about this girl?
And what about not wearing that pink shirt? Who gave that to you?
She is very heteronormative.
Yeah, she's in her high femme heteronormative era.
You go to therapy about that?
My
I
kid,
won't say it hasn't come up.
she painted my nails. They still have purple and turquoise and stuff on there from months ago. She did it, had fun doing it,
Yeah.
and then weeks later told me to not do that because only girls wear.
Oh, wow. They grow
Male
up so
paint.
fast.
I'm like, you fucking did it. What-
The
You
social
did it, and I have the
programming is
video.
strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tucker Carlson.
I'm going to tell everybody at your wedding.
Yeah.
Do you, if I may ask, do you breastfeed? Because I can't help picture, Ross, that you do it with attitude in a public place, staring men down as you're burning a Tesla. Look at it! It's natural! Oh, are you getting a boner?
And then if you do make eye contact with her, she just hits you with milk. In
Yeah,
the face.
I
Right.
fucking
Like
right
a
in
weapon.
the face.
Yeah.
I did breastfeed. She's almost 5. I stopped when she was around 1, but that was mostly her choice. She was like, I want to be in charge of this on my own.
Right.
I don't need you anymore.
Right. What is this?
but-
Coconut milk? What the, Mom? What the fuck?
I said oat.
Yeah, she was done with me. But I am actually becoming a certified lactation counselor
Oh.
right now because one I'm basically trying not to be in the fashion industry anymore. So I'm a yoga teacher and I'm a postpartum doula right now.
Okay.
True Bushwick nightmare. And I'm becoming a certified lactation counselor so I can help
And
families.
you get your certification by growing armpit hair.
Well,
It's the armpit hair that certifies you.
It's not so bad.
no, I trim it.
I love
It's
it.
Okay.
aesthetically pleasing.
Okay.
But
I
anyways,
like it because it stinks. It's got a good musk.
oh, it does stink. I'm sweating so much right now. But yes, when I did breastfeed, I definitely gave zero fucks and it
Right.
felt, but also when you're in the thick of it too, it's just like, I'm not even thinking about anybody else. I'm certainly not thinking about being like embarrassed or
Right.
like I need to shield myself. I'm like, I just need to like get my tit in my child's mouth so
Yeah.
that they like stop screaming. You know?
I see people eating food on the subway. What's the fucking difference? It's disgusting.
Truly, come on.
I mean, everybody's allowed to eat.
You know,
Right.
but now I'm really diving head first into learning all the ways I can help other people do it, and also how it's inextricably linked to rape culture, colonialism, and the patriarchy.
I'll get to Patrick's new special, Qualification. Good job, by the way.
Thank you.
You should be proud. But in it, I understood. I took it a story that you had a home birth, but then somebody said, "Now go home," and I got confused. Where did you have the baby?
It was at the hospital. The way I tell the story, I don't even know if she's seen this.
No, I'm like, what is it?
The way I tell the story is
Oh,
that
the shit he says.
so she wants to labor at home, and laboring at home is the part like it's a common mistake. And you correct me. You're the
You
birth
stay home
expert.
as long as possible.
You're supposed to
Okay.
stay home as long as you can, and she wanted to labor at home until it was like imminent that the baby was going to come.
Yeah.
And while we were at home, that's when it got really loud and crazy outside because of the parade.
Yeah.
But then, so I was sort of like, let's just go to the hospital. That's sort of how I told the story.
Yeah.
How it occurred exactly is basically we labored at home for 5 hours,
8.
8 hours, and then we drove.
8.
Then we drove at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Or so. Right?
Yeah, it was
3.
about that. Yeah.
So yeah, the way I say the joke in there is, she wanted to labor at home because of the armpit hair, which is calling back to something
Oh.
else.
I gotta watch this special.
Hello.
I appreciate you saying that. Now I'm paranoid that it's not clear that. It wasn't ever a home.
I'm sure you
birth.
said it. I just misunderstood. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
know what labor means,
Okay.
as compared to other things. The special is called Qualification. When does it come out?
April 22nd.
April 22nd. And it starts with, this performance was recorded with permission during an addiction recovery conference in an undisclosed location. To protect the privacy of those in audience who may be in recovery themselves, the audience has been obscured. And I see, sometimes it'll cut to the audience who's all blurred out. Was the blurring after the show so that you had an excuse to edit? Like, why even show them at all?
I needed a shot or two like that for editing reasons.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I only had one shot to do it. Like
Right.
like most people, they'll shoot a special, they'll do at least 2 shows, sometimes more. And this was basically, they said, "Hey, we want you to come back again this year." I've done conferences like this many times over the years. They said, "Can you come back? We don't have money this year. We forgot to budget for entertainment, but will you do the show?" And I was
For
like,
coffee and donuts, right?
right. So I said, "Well, yeah, I'll do it, but can we trade? Could I bring some cameras? Because I've been meaning to shoot a special, and I think this would be really cool, and I'll just like hide the audience." And they said, "Yeah, do it." And luckily that was all cool. And then I do the show. I don't go on until it was like 12:10 in the morning when I hit the stage. And I did like 55 minutes, and I cut out a bunch of stuff because I was sort of self-directing as I went. Like if I flubbed something, I would like kind of regroup and retake it because I knew I couldn't shoot 2 shows, but I needed to make it work. So long story short, there are some clumsy edits that the viewer will notice, I'm sure, and those cutaways of the audience blurred out were kind of like last resort shots where I'm like, fuck, I got to figure out how to get from this thing through that laugh to this thing, this clumsy start that I had to clip in a weird,
Right.
because I edited it myself, so it's like It was all desperation decisions to
Do you
make
get to
it.
take notes, like what was referenced before? Did I, in fact, talk about this armpit thing before? Did I take that out?
Well, that's an interesting question. If you really want to get in the weeds about it, that setup is to a joke that I took out of the special. So I say this thing of like, I'm married a militant feminist. She's covered in tattoos. She's got armpit hair. She identifies as a bisexual, queer, yoga witch, and I'm scared of her. And we fight over stuff. And I tell this joke I've been doing about fighting over a kid's book that she thinks is sexist. And she's like, we got to throw this book away. And I basically do like as close to my Bill Maher stuff as I can, where I play with the idea that she's wrong about it being sexist.
Right.
It's funny though. I laugh.
I think it's a good joke. My buddy who helped me produce the special, and he watched some cuts of it. He's like, that joke's not ready. You got to cut that out. But the armpit hair callback during the birth story, I feel is so funny that I was like, all right, I got to leave the part where I set up that she's this hairy militant feminist, but then I combined it with the joke about facial hair.
Gotcha.
It's a little.
This is a hard sell for this special. Let me tell you, it's funny. It's funny. Okay.
Buy my imperfect special, everybody.
Is it funny? Is it of note that Ross hasn't asked to see this special yet? The great Bonnie McFarlane put out a book. I'm talking in it. She talks about being raped. Rich Voss is sitting right there. It was news to him. I'm like, well, you didn't read your wife's book?
Rich can't read.
Okay. There's probably an audio version, but still.
He's actually in my special thanks because he shot a special once upon a time at a recovery conference. And I'm definitely speaking out of school here, so I shouldn't say too much. For some reason or another, it's not out there, and it frustrates him that it's not, because it's from everything I've heard, it's great.
I'll do his jokes.
Yes. No. So I called him and I was like, how did you even get permission to film at something like that? And he said, I just asked, basically. And so it was this phone call with him that gave me the bravery to ask the organizers, can I even do this? And with Ross, like, I don't expect her, like, I'm so self-obsessed already when it comes to my writing and my work and whatever, that like to ask her to watch something of mine just feels like asking too much at this point.
He used to do it a lot more like early on, but now it's I mean, like, he knows what he's doing. Also, like, when I've gone to a couple of his shows recently and I hadn't seen any of his like new stuff in a while, and it's like he can hear my very loud laughter over other people's, where I'm like, that's a good new one. Like, way to go.
I had a special on Amazon for free, and I was watching with my girlfriend at the time. We didn't get 5 minutes in where I'm like, you're not laughing at the right spots. That's not the right one. I can't do this. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I can't do this.
I mean, which girlfriend was it? Kyle? Because that's hard if it's a comic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I like that you laughed at something that wasn't necessarily the thing, but you didn't really get the other thing, and it's my fault because obviously you are funny, or I wouldn't be dating you. Right. But I can't take this. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And there are things we resort to as comics that I'm not even proud of at this point. Like, there are jokes that I do just to get some momentum going that I fucking hate that I do. And I don't need to hear it from her.
And I hate that.
And I don't need to hear it from her. Like, because it's like, I hate that too.
Feel the eye roll like coming from the back of the audience.
Well, it's so weird that so many people are different. Like, I love my later albums as opposed to the earlier albums, and then I'll get an email, somebody saying, oh, I just heard this album, which isn't necessarily my favorite, and it's their favorite. I'm like, okay, good. That's good to hear, and it's weird that God made everybody so fucking different. Of course the world's burning. God was made in we were made in his image, then God has a multiple personality problem. Because what the fuck am I looking at out here? You love this person hates that. That's crazy. We can't agree on Severance? That's fucking nuts.
I think this is more evidence that we're in a simulation. That
this
is all just
start with
games.
the Elon Musk simulation.
Hey, why didn't you tell me you fucked that chick? I don't think it's real, baby. That's that compartmentalization he was talking about.
I mean, I do. That is legitimately something I say to her when she's spinning out about money. I say, money's not real. This is all an illusion.
And now we're homeless. That's what's funny is this isn't real.
We can decorate however we want.
Nobody is taking our kids away. That's crazy.
Oh, God.
So it's the special starts where it says it's an AA type meeting for most people. Meanwhile, full on comedy. And it just shows images of empty chairs, then images of a coffee machine, and you can tell the vibe already. An image of a picture on a wall that says "Reset the space for the next group." Grant me the serenity cross stitches on the wall. Jiggle the handle if the water is running is a frame that I enjoyed very much. You're how many years sober now? 15 more?
It'll be 16 and a half, so 17 in August if I don't fuck it up.
And you, Ross?
Which
I just had 16 in March.
All right. Which what, Patrick?
I was gonna say, like, that's another ripple. Like 2 summers ago, I felt real close to drinking again.
Really?
Yeah. That was after I had that intense relationship where I really felt like I was in love with this person, and that ended. And then just like stress of life, 2-year-old, us managing a 2-year-old, having differing opinions on how to manage a 2-year-old. I started fantasizing about drinking alone in the dark in my windowless office. Like,
I would fuck you, that person on the side.
I'm like, now we're talking.
But when it's you, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah, when I have to be the father to our child, it's not so hot.
It's not so hot.
Yeah, she loves a brooding depressive.
Oh,
Except it can't be me.
If you could do Severance for real, how perfect would that be, right? I'm going to find the asshole at work. It's you, baby. Don't worry.
It's true.
Hey, you come home, we're pregnant. What?
Oh, yeah.
Do you in your special, is this true that you mentioned that you get jealous of drunks? Where to me, it tells me, I'm sober, and it tells me like, oh no, that's not fun and they're not really enjoying themselves. But do you like seeing it?
I get jealous of having the option for a like intense and rapid and effective escape. Like a night of binge drinking looks attractive sometimes as a stressed out parent. I'm not actually.
Oh, I do pounds of edibles. Don't get me wrong. When you do drugs, it's very easy to be sober.
Right.
That's great. That's what you don't do, right?
Pounds of edibles.
Yeah, we're doing old school sobriety where like we go for like sugar to escape.
Yeah.
Sex. I mean,
yeah.
I think
that's our loophole.
That might be a
fucking
big
other people.
That might be a big. That's my big case. I think for non-monogamy is like I was just listening to some like bunch of straight guy podcast comedy dudes that I admire as comics, but I think they're all fucking puritanical when it comes to sex. Like when they talk about like what they think is sexually experimental or exciting or whatever, I'm like, that's nothing. Like anyway.
Pegged by the top of nature.
Yeah, that's the vanilla bean. I buy the core.
Right. Yeah, point is that I just think I need this kind of an exciting escape hatch in my life. So if for you it's edibles and for me it's like some girl on an app that, safe, consensual and fun and on the level, like there's ways to have these like high inducing experiences.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, you mentioned
unfortunately married a freak like me that I agree.
Right. Was all that on the first date? I forget. The talking about being poly or just see where it goes. No, it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. That was a dumb question because the old story, right? I'm sorry. You mentioned you walk into a bar. No, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. That was stupid. Can we start over? Hey guys,
take it from the top.
And my name is. Let's see. What did I write down here? Oh, you said you walk into a bar and even the bar washcloth makes you drool.
Oh yeah. I love dive bars. I love the smell of a dive bar. I still like if I'm killing time somewhere. Like coffee shops have started taking that over, of course. But like, I like dive bars. I like the characters there. I like the smells and sights and the sounds. Like a jukebox that doesn't sound quite right, but people are laughing and there's a din. That's nice.
I liked Hogs and Heifers and places like that, and I liked when an idiot businessman goes up to the bar, and of course, then there's tequila all over his body. Like, what's wrong with you? That's fun. That's fun to see.
Yeah.
It's funny how you brought up like how it takes. Nobody says nothing that we have a problem, but then when we go, I'm going to quit drinking, they don't go, my mind's blown.
Right.
I'm like, well, you were there the whole time too. Interesting. Patrick, I'm paraphrasing, but he goes, so I think I have a problem. So I went to AA.com because everybody talks about it. And it's American Airlines. And I'm like, well, I did my fucking best.
I tried.
Right. You brought up, you said about why you would only have one kid. And you said, I'm going to only have one kid, kind of like the 69 New York Jets. Do you kind of hope that, being a New Yorker even, do you kind of hope New York never wins a Super Bowl so this joke never gets old?
Just stays preserved.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I left that in there. I didn't realize I did. Because it doesn't mean anything to many people and oftentimes doesn't get any response. I guess it was in Long Island, so I guess no,
they
I
didn't
don't
give a
care.
shit. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
There was a stand up where the album's called I Dated Your Mom. I'm Dating Your Mom. That's when I was with Kyle and she has kids. But anyway, I was talking about Louis C.K. and people defending him. And I'm like, you don't got to defend these fucking guys. They know how to talk. Some of them are the best in the fucking world. And part of me hopes that he never gives a sufficient apology or atones so that my track never seems that it misses the fucking point. I hope Jesse Smollett never appears innocent. If I find out that the Practical Jokers are decent guys, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, I
And
think
okay.
so.
all these-
Yeah,
with all these-
yeah,
Okay.
those all sound pretty solid.
yeah.
You mentioned you got a vasectomy, so there isn't going to be more kids, right?
Right.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
And then the doctor said, just so you know, there's still sperm in you, and you have to ejaculate like 50 to 100 times before it takes. Meanwhile, you're a porn addict. You're like, okay, can I get a doctor's note for that?
Yeah, I'm just doing my homework.
Right. So the special is called Qualification. It's gonna be out soon. I got some big news I'd like to share with you guys.
Yeah, let's
Please.
This is breaking news.
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave New York City.
Congratulations. You did it.
That's what I'm hearing, right?
You've elevated. You've transitioned.
I'm not congratulating you. Fuck off.
Fuck off. We just bought a house. We told you, goddammit. We're stuck.
Where are you going to go?
My girlfriend lives in Charlotte. I'm gonna live. We've been dating over a year. I'm gonna move close to her. She has a kid that I only
for
saw a
you.
couple times. She likes her private time, of course. But in 2 months is the plan. I got to find a place now, but
Wow.
2 months. And you know what I realized? Because I've been here almost 30 years, I think, and I did love it. And I find myself, I haven't been taking advantage of it. Why am I paying so fucking goddamn much? And I
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at Charlotte places, and easily more than half what I pay for rent
Oh, yeah.
is
Yeah.
easily over twice the space. Never mind, it
Yeah.
comes with a pool, no exaggeration, a swimming pool, not even
Yeah.
a pool table, which would be cool. You know, you realize like I'm like, does it have a dishwasher? And the owner's like, yeah, and a toilet.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm excited for you. This is great.
No,
you know
that's-
that
it's
laundry's not an
wonderful.
amenity. It's
Yeah.
it's a right.
I know.
Right, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. No,
Uh,
congrats. That's
and
really
there's
cool.
a scene. There's a scene. There's a lot of comics in Charlotte. Raleigh's got a big scene. I don't think those are close, but you're gonna find the people down there. And you
I
do
see
this
her about once a
remotely.
month, so I know of Charlotte, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's
get it.
great, man.
You know, I went to the ballet once. That was enough.
The North Carolina Ballet. Oh, you mean in New York City?
In New York City. When I go to Charlotte and I go shopping. Holy cunt! I'm like, it's all on me, and I don't just mean to my girlfriend. I mean to the store.
And the aisles are so wide in suburban shopping
Yeah.
markets.
Just
Right.
doing 360s with your double wide cart, like no
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
Right?
No problem.
You ever see that they have some of these stores in New York City and they give you the big carts, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
our fucking grocery store.
And
It
the-
makes
Yeah.
no sense.
The walls are literally closing in on us in these grocery
Right.
stores.
So
yeah, no,
this-
we're idiots
Right.
in
The
here.
first
I
time
Is it-
mean,
telling
is it-
anybody?
kind of, basically. First time the audience knows for sure.
Wow. What an honor.
Oh,
This is an honor. I want to
gosh.
acknowledge that this feels like breaking news.
Yes, thank you for allowing us to partake in this hot goss.
I knew it'd be fun to tell you for some reason. Yeah, I kind of wish I did it sooner, but also, you know, it's this relationship took place, so this idea going there is even better. So it worked out. But I noticed I'm getting excited, even though it's 2 months. So I'm starting to pack a little bit anyway. It's gonna be fun to basically start over. In a new place and put your shit just right. And like, this is gonna be in Home and Garden.
Well,
I have such dumb shit. I have 18 cans of Off the bug spray.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking the wild man.
Will you minimize? Will you Marie Kondo before you go?
Yes.
And also, I gotta ask.
I just threw out a popcorn bucket. Like I'm gonna have I'm gonna have popcorn and panini parties all day. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that's going away.
Do you think your dad has discovered your new address yet?
No, but it's funny you brought him up because perhaps you know about this dad saga. And long story short, my dad wrote my ex-wife. My ex-wife said, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "Can you do me a favor? And do you mind if I catfish him as I'm you?" She said, "If you promise, get the fuck out of my life already. Why the Mally's part of it?" And so I started emailing him, acting like I'm her. He started hitting on me. Long story short, I showed up at a hotel and he fucked me, and I'm like, "Damn, it's me! Wake up, idiot!" I made a book about it, keithandthegirl.com/book. Good reviews, by the way, if I may brag. And it tells the whole year-long saga. And I sent him a book in the mail, and he signed for it because I made him sign for it to accept it. Yeah. He acted like he never got the book. He says, if you check the signature, you'll see that's not mine. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that could mean. Okay. But every so often he'll be like, he was a priest before he got married. And so he would bring up like Bible verses, how I'm fucking around, not honoring the father, or somehow I did damage to him. And I'll write back and include the kids. And this is a big deal to do, even as a grown adult. Fuck off. You know what you did. Admit what you did. Here's the link again, siblings. Every time you rate, I'm going to remind the siblings to go to keithandthegirl.com/dad. Why are you doing this? And I just got I got an email from him yesterday. And I'm trying to find it here. Let's see.
I think you texted it to me. If you check your text.
I mean, boomer dads really are a fucking piece of work, aren't they?
Right?
Yeah.
Boomer's so gross. It implies he fucked my mom. There's no fucking way. Ugh. But that's what religion does to you. That's what religion does to you, because he met her blessing her mom's house.
Like, okay. First of all,
he's like, "Hey, I'm making $25 on the gig, but what are you doing later?"
Right. And of course, this is back in the day when you have your first dance, you got to marry the person so you're not a whore. It wasn't that long ago. But my dad wrote me, now this is funny to me because keep in mind, when we were kids, he would bring this out of the blue. We didn't even say nothing. He's like, "Remember, I am your father, not your friend." I'm like, "What TV show did you steal that from?" But okay, nothing's original. Because, and I'm not, and I'm like, "Oh, and good morning." Okay, all right, you're not my friend. Point made. Here's the email. Are we able to be respectful friends without conditions? Well, here's a condition. All you literally have to do is know that you tried to hit on my ex and that you were inappropriate rating her behind my back on my birthday, by the way. So that means you thought of me and wrote her instead. That's when it all started. But anyways, are we able to be respectful friends without conditions other than showing each other respect in our conversations to or about each other? He's very verbose in a weird way. I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah, that's some word salad.
What is he, milk
wow.
Dick?
Are we able to be respectful friends without conditions other than showing each other respect in our conversations to or about each other? And thank God for this Gmail Gemini. I can go, "Yeah, can you summarize this shit?" What? And then my computer exploded. It says, and by the way, my dad, you know these old people. Either the whole body is in the subject of the email or there's no subject. So there's never any subject. And what else this motherfucker does? He deliberately starts a new email. I'm like, as if like somehow I'm gonna forget. You have to tell the truth or fuck off. And so he's like, "Okay, how about a whole new email?" When I wrote the Dad Emails book, it's all the emails back and forth between us.
Yeah.
And I wrote this in the book at some point, but I'm like, you know what pisses me off the most? How hard it is to find these old emails because he kept starting new ones. Yeah. And there's no fucking thread and Gmail can't put them together. You asshole. Now I'm mad.
Fucking annoying.
Oh, man.
So Gemini said, Mike Malley asked, no subject is about. Mike Malley asked if they can be respectful friends with no conditions besides respectful conversations. This request was sent to Keith. So
No conditions besides respectful conversations. Like even Gemini can't figure it out.
what are we going to talk about? And when we used to talk, it was all superficial anyway.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
I said, I'm willing to go back to that, but I didn't even go to my mom's funeral because only the siblings would be there. I saw them. So who cares? Because he's going to keep trying to put his arm around me and act like we're pals because, of course, I'd have to put up with that. It's mom's funeral. And it's not going to be weird. I just, and like run to the other side of this little, viewing room at a funeral. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So what's the problem? Could we be respectful? All you have to do, my point is, if you don't admit this happened when I know it happened, can we talk? We can't.
Yeah. It's tough with those kinds of things. Like my oldest friend on the planet, I wish we were tight because like I've known him my entire life, but he did something horrible in his personal life. And the one time I ever said like, hey, I heard about this thing, let me know if you ever need to talk, he just denied that it happened.
Right.
And I have a similar feeling where I'm like, that thing didn't actually even involve me, but like, I can't have a functional relationship with somebody who is in total denial.
And you're
about,
going to bullshit me or something again because if I let it go, I'm a fucking idiot to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. Where is he? Is he in New York?
No, no, I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania. My mom had Alzheimer's, so he moved closer to her, and he's in an apartment by himself. And these emails are like 2 a.m, so he's lonely.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What town in Pennsylvania?
Somerset, close to Pittsburgh, but definitely the country.
Charlotte, you're actually moving closer to your dad.
I didn't think of that. God damn it. Hold on.
Change of plans.
Hey, baby. Turns out you have to come here. How big's your house, guys? Anyways. Damn. No, and he doesn't. I do the podcast. I write books. I have albums, and it's like, why do you have to make everything a joke? And it's like, because everything is a fucking joke. It's friends, family, work, sex. It's all fucking ridiculous. And also, do you guys worry about this? Like, hey, what's the saying? It's not did you fuck up your kids? It's how did you fuck up your kids?
Yeah.
And we literally couldn't laugh at the dinner table. Couldn't laugh. We'd have conversation, but we couldn't laugh. We couldn't laugh in the car because my dad always thought it was at his expense. And I wonder, and I can't help but think, like, okay, so now I'm an adult. I can be funny. Then let's point out that everything is fucking funny. Everything's dumb. It's almost like I couldn't watch movies when I was a kid, and now I see every fucking movie ever made.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like that.
That's definitely related.
Yeah.
And it's how interesting though that like it sounds like probably doesn't have a whole lot going on, and he probably does keep up with what you're doing on the internet, which is a lot.
Enough.
Right? So he knows what's going on with you, and yet you're estranged. So he only knows the public version of you, and probably craves it, and probably I don't know what his deal is, but maybe he knows when your podcast comes out or whatever. And yet he doesn't want to connect in a real way. Like he doesn't want to talk to you individually.
Well, these boomers, right? These boomer men in particular. I have so many people in my life, including my own father, and my own father and my own brother are also estranged currently. So it's because of the insanely limited emotional capacity of this older generation of men. They just like they don't get it. They don't fucking get it.
Old-fashioned stubbornness too is like so powerful.
And selfishness. Like they just cannot see beyond the scope of their own experience. Like that's it, Yeah. And they're a bunch of sad sacks.
He made it so easy. I don't give a fuck. And you know what I think is an interesting point? Like it's been a couple years now. I've never had a dream where I got caught or something or ran into him where I felt bad or had this like, well, what I really meant by these emails was even in dreams, I never thought the worst thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's interesting. I'm completely clear in my conscience.
Yeah, you're in the right. Yeah.
Thank God, because that would be a real waste of fucking energy.
Right.
I with dad, I could talk about dad stuff all day. I have my issues with my dad, and I'm in this conundrum where like there's one joke on the special about my dad. I have like 500 jokes about him, but I just kept it to one in there that is shitty toward him, and I feel guilty because like he actually in the last several years of me and my adult siblings' lives, he's the one who's really showing up for us in all these like really cool ways.
Right.
He is also very limited. Like
You're like,
he
hey,
couldn't-
Dad, can you watch the kid for 11 minutes? And he goes, yeah, sure.
Oh,
It's 11
that-
No, no, not even that.
Well, what I was gonna say is, if I said, "Hey, Dad, could you write me an email?" There's no way
No.
that would happen. There's no. I don't think he could.
I'm honestly impressed that your dad was writing emails.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Because an email, you can trick it, start over, say you misunderstood. You know,
Yeah.
when you hear when a phone call, you have to. I can go, what? And you have to answer because you're on the phone. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fascinating.
It's crazy.
I think when we were in your studio 5 years ago, I think you had just started talking to him again or something. I can't really remember, but
I'm trying to. 5 years ago could be. 5 years ago could be, but it doesn't happen after this book.
yeah.
Oh my God, that cover is so good.
It's such a good cover. It's my dad
yeah.
looking at his computer screen.
Got his lotion. He's got his lotion.
He's got his lotion and tissue. He's obviously typing my ex-wife masturbating.
Oh my God.
In his glasses, you can barely see it, but you can see it at the /dad book. Is him telling me, thinking he's talking to my ex-wife, that she makes his libido jingle. Kind of ruined Christmas for me.
Oh my
I'm gonna use that
God.
as my opener next time.
Wow.
Being a priest,
Wow.
there's a cross on the back, but on it, I don't know if you're familiar with the mascot for Ugly Kid Joe. That's Ugly Kid Joe mascot as Jesus, and that's because he has this so many dramatic stories, but one is he thinks we're not a close, he likes to say, because when he was younger, he would tour magic shows. Surprise, a priest becomes a magician. He would go around doing
my
magic
God.
shows, and he wasn't home enough for us kids, and we resented it. And the song came on the radio, Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin, and it made him cry. Ugly Kid Joe redid it, and that there's a back and forth about
Wow.
that also.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there was
that's him on the cross.
That was an anthem in our house. That whole album with the "I Hate Everything About You."
Yeah, of
Wow.
course.
Yeah,
Goddamn
I'm 44,
devil.
so yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like
Wow.
we're in the same era.
Yeah.
A priest who became a magician. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
And he goes and he has a story like, you always resented that I was gone doing all these shows, blah blah blah. It's like, I promise I know you were there. I heard in school they used the term latchkey kid. I thought, oh, that's so sad. It's a disease. Oh, it's when your parents aren't home. What are you complaining about?
Yeah,
You know what we did to get away with shit? Maybe watch a horror movie if somehow it was on during the daytime if he was at work. And the big thing, run the dishwasher, because even though we had a dishwasher, we had to do the dishes by hand. So our big sneak was
to
doing
do
fucking
chores.
dishes and then opening up this old dishwasher and trying to fan out the flames as I hear him coming up our long country driveway. Like, oh my God, that's what I'm getting away with. Yeah, maybe on my own I'll turn to drinks. Maybe.
Oh my God.
oh man, it all makes sense now.
It does, right? Tell me if you find this, because this is a little embarrassing. So my place is a mess because I'm just getting excited packing, but I'm doing it way too early. But anyway, and I'm going to sell some old equipment from our old studio. But so there's shit all over the floor. Then I find myself procrastinating in a way where I'm walking to the kitchen, that's a mess, to the bedroom, that's a mess, and I'm like, all right, what's next? What should I tackle next? It's like any fucking thing. My place looks like my Myanmar. What's next? I'm like, what am I doing? If somebody just walking around, and I can barely walk around. And I'm like, what's next on the list? These 18 mics on the floor.
Yeah, I mean this
much,
this
right.
sounds like an executive functioning thing.
Oh,
Sounds like
What's that?
One of my jobs, I work as a sober companion, like for these agencies that will pair me with people who need extra help. Usually it's like families hire the agency to help their kid stay out of jail or stay out of
Right.
rehab or stay in school or whatever. But somehow over the last couple of years, these agencies have morphed into executive functioning coaching agencies.
Okay.
So I also get paired with neurodivergent people who need help with homework or keeping their apartment clean or whatever. And so I've learned a lot over the last couple of years about the situation you're in, which is just like, yeah, like helping people get out of chaos. Because I've done a lot of like borderline professional organizational work
Right.
for some of these people. So if you're really asking, I would say,
Do it.
just, yeah, just start, just make a start, go easy on
No,
yourself.
I get it. I think I get it. But goddamn, it's
Yeah.
because it's overwhelming. I shouldn't have pulled everything out
Yeah.
of every drawer all at once.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's a mistake.
I mean, this is an issue I think most of us struggle with on some, especially in our small spaces,
Yeah.
right?
Right. And
And
I'm not
also-
a. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I was going to say right now, you should say to your listeners, if you're a podcaster and you need gear, I'm selling gear.
This is good
Uh,
gear.
Message me about what you need and I'll tell you what I have. And I bet you're going to get some DMs after this airs.
Right. And I don't know what I'm doing, so I probably won't charge postage. You'll actually be making money.
Yeah. You
Right.
could meet them at the whatever, if you got a Chase nearby, you could do an exchange in the lobby.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. You know, I'm not a hoarder, but I do love a good dollar store. And
me
like,
too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I love a Dollar General. I go to Dollar General, whatever town I'm in. I became a regular at the Dollar General in
Too
Appleton,
much.
Wisconsin last month.
Too much.
Do you think the clerks, the workers, have bad attitudes because they think we're stupid? Because who buys this shit? Like another idiot. What are you gonna do with a wooden heart?
I think they're miserable because, man, that is really.
Did they get
sad
paid
place.
$1?
Yeah.
And
probably
there's
not
still
much
laws,
more.
right?
Yeah. I
Although-
don't think minimum wage is that good.
The
honestly.
happiest employee I saw at the Dollar Tree, because I also will go to a Dollar Tree. The happiest one I saw had 0 teeth. I mean, I mean actually 0.
Yeah.
Oh, they
She had
sold those in the toy section. This idiot. I saw them. They chatter, but okay, you can eat.
Oh, yeah, our daughter has one of those on her desk. Actually.
See?
from the Dollar General.
No, that's from that expensive.
Oh yeah, it's from a
good
bougie
toy
ice cream store.
Ross goes to the opposite stores that I go to. I go to the cheap ass Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
She's like, "What's the most expensive toy store in Williamsburg?"
Well, it's gonna last longer.
You know what? It makes me think of my mom. There were 5 of us kids, and my mom was a big coupon cutter. She'd leave. She could be on one of these TV shows. She'd leave. They owed her change, you know.
Yeah.
And she'll use a coupon from another store on the wrong day, ask for it to be doubled up, and they can see the tiredness in her face, and I can't just give it to her. But I wonder if they got their money back anyway, because if my mom would send my dad shopping. My dad liked to act like he was highfalutin and a big deal. So he probably was supposed to get generic beans, got generic beans, and like, okay, those are on sale. He's like, no, charge me for brand name beans. I'm Mike O'Malley in your neighborhood. And they're probably like, it all evens out. Give Kathy whatever she
spender.
wants. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
fuck it. She's denting
Oh,
cans, and he's like, please, by all means.
Oh my god.
I mean, I have somebody I know closely that shall remain nameless that buys so much shit on sale that it's like the point of the sale is lost when you're buying things you don't
Yes.
need. Like when you're buying a pool cover for a pool you don't have because it's on sale. you
Isn't
didn't
that
get a deal.
manifesting?
You didn't
Yes.
get a deal.
Yes, that is exactly how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you on the show, Patrick, and you were talking about it was with Joe List, and you were talking about how you were at a Pizza Hut, and this was with me too. You get your one drink ahead of time, but you only get one. But you're a kid, so
yeah.
of course you ruin it. And you mentioned how the pizza's hot, so that whole thing is fucking
The
ruined.
scalding pizza, yeah.
Right. But that we couldn't get refills. If we went to a McDonald's, it was a burger for each of us, and we had to share a large fry, 5 waters. And I wonder if, in a way, it's related to alcoholism in that if I go to a restaurant now and there's 3 of us, I'm like, well, right away, we need 9 appetizers. It's on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
scarcity thing.
Yeah.
It's reverse scarcity. It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be a glutton. Yeah, like right now, like We were visiting my brother and his family in Colorado last week, and as you heard in the special, I have a sugar addiction. I'm obsessed with ice cream. I eat ice cream to self-medicate. And when we were together with them, it was just like, well, we're all here together. Let's have ice cream every night. Let's get a bunch of ice cream.
Right.
And most nights I had multiple bowls of ice cream, especially when my dad was there, and I ate it till I felt sick, and it really felt like, well, we're doing it. There's no rules. We're grown-ups. We are the grown-ups. Let's just keep eating.
Yeah.
And it's definitely related to the scarcity stuff from when I was a kid.
Well, and it's also like two sides of the same coin, right? Like my dad was a manager of a Pizza Hut, in fact, when I was growing up, and like I had a lot of shame about that, and I always wanted the nicer things, the bigger things,
Right.
being exposed to more wealth and privilege in my small city in Connecticut.
And meanwhile, me and Patrick are like, free access to the buffet?
Yeah.
You know there's cinnamon pizza?
Oh, I remember. I was calling my dad at midnight. I'm like, before you leave, can you bring me cinnamon pizza?
Right.
Personal pan.
A personal pan.
Yeah.
I was always getting personal pans brought
I'll
home.
book it.
But then my mom, put me in a private prep school because she taught there, so I got to go there for free. So I was like, wait, you're telling me I'm poor? Hold on a second.
Right.
And like it. So then I when I moved to New York City, I was like, everything. Like as soon as I got here, I bought a $200 pair of jeans. Like I was like, I am balling out. I don't give a fuck. Like every time
Yeah.
I'd go out to a bar, I'm buying people drinks. I'm buying Coke for everybody. And I do mean cocaine.
Right.
Like it was,
Right.
and I did not have the money for it. And I do think you have more, like I still struggle with that. I think where I want to just I want to take care of myself and everybody else, where I think you have like a little bit more scarcity when it comes to spending, but
Yeah.
not consuming
Right.
sugar.
Yeah, I think I've restraint now with money that I did not. When I was a workaholic early in sobriety, I think I did like spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And like I would give people nice gifts for weddings, or like a nice check for a wedding gift or whatever. And I always felt really good about that because I just had money. Now I don't have money, so.
I just never had it. So I was just pretending a lot of the time.
But that's funny about you didn't realize how lucky you had it. Dad working at a Pizza Hut. I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soundtrack tape from Pizza Hut.
God.
Pizza Hut was like La Bernardine here in New York City. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're kidding me. When we moved out, I moved out with my brother, and thank God he's 4 years older. Thank God he lived in the house for too long. I was 18, and my dad kicked me out, but he knew I was eager to fucking leave. I was already working. And he goes, you have to leave on July 4th following your graduation year. And I'm like, oh, Independence Day. He obviously thought it through. And he's
Wow.
like, it is. Well, how fitting. So anyway, we leave. One of the first things we did was Pizza Hut buffet. We're buying Subway like from Sheets.
I love a
Yeah.
Sheets.
Yeah.
I love
Seats.
It's a gas station in Pennsylvania
Oh.
that has fried macaroni triangles.
Wow.
I
Wow.
like triangles.
Wow.
Chuck and I got real into Sheets.
Okay.
I do love the idea of Pizza Hut as Le Bernardine because it does have especially in our era, they had those low hanging lamps with the stained glass.
Dining in at Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
dining in.
Yeah, and it's like there was a coziness. It's carpeted. Like nobody's doing carpets.
Right.
No.
First of all, good for you. You got to dine in. I know. Dine in
Well,
sounds
not only
plural.
am I dining in, not
Right.
am I dining in, but my dad is the boss of the
Right.
establishment.
He walks you in through the kitchen.
We definitely did.
I wonder if I'm going to miss New York because I was on I don't think I will, but I was on the subway today and a guy took his fingers and he rubbed one of those subway columns and sniffed it. And I'm like, am I going to miss this?
No.
No, I think I'm okay. I think I'm good.
There's so
I
many
think I'm
other
good.
things to sniff in the country.
Right.
Fucking awful.
Speaking of which, I'm on the verge of a bathroom emergency.
Please,
Oh,
please.
You mean wait, do you mean a bio break?
Should I just go and you two chat and come back? I probably only need a couple minutes.
Wow.
Or should we?
You go when we'll
Are-
talk. Yeah, you go when we'll
Okay.
talk. Okay.
I'm scared of what this might lead.
Uh oh.
Oh, this is interesting. This is what I
kids
wanted in the
don't-
first place, but Patrick reached out. You know what I mean?
This
Oh shit, he's still here. What kind of
this is
trick is
what
this?
This is what polyamory is. I just share her.
That's right.
But
oh,
everybody
yes.
has
That's
to.
property. Yeah,
Right.
Classic.
Ross, I get on these I've been here almost 30 years. I got on the wrong subway again. It makes me feel so fucking stupid.
Well,
Please
it
tell me
should.
you do too sometimes. No, never. I not only did I get on the wrong subway, I then correct myself. So I find the right subway I need. I'm going the opposite way. And then I see, oh, this is the Lexington stop where I make my transfer. I get off and I realize, no, that's when you were going the other way you transferred. Now you keep
Yeah.
going. Dumb fuck. I
Yes.
just hope North Carolina doesn't have direction. And I'm going to be very.
Well, you're gonna have those Google Maps right in
Right.
front of you on your little holder.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Oh,
fine.
man. I follow that Google map to the point that, you know how in the city, because there's so much electricity, it kind of doesn't work. And
Yeah.
it has the red dot where you're at. And I'm following a line. Then all of a sudden the red dot is like in the middle of somebody's house. I'll
Yeah.
knock on the door and be like, I got to stay here for a minute until it calibrates.
No, and I think because I honestly have been working so much in Brooklyn and Queens, like teaching yoga and doing doula stuff, that I drive a lot now.
Right.
But if I have to go to a neighborhood I haven't been to in a while and I have to take the train, I'm like, wait a second. And all the fucking MTA shit too, where they're like changing stuff on you last minute.
Yes.
It happens to the best of us.
And they don't
for
tell
sure.
you sometimes. I've been on a
No.
platform by myself, guys cleaning. 30 minutes later, he's like, there's no train here. I'm like, I didn't climb nothing.
No, I was on a train coming back from Manhattan one day, and there were 3 MTA people on the train with me, and they made some fucking muffled announcement. And I said to them, and I was
Right.
like, can you understand this? And they like started laughing. They were like, no. I was like, well, then who is this meant for?
Right.
Like, if you guys can't even dissect this.
I was walking from the subway once to my apartment, for God's sakes. And I always like, let's say it's 10 blocks away, and about block 5 on the right was a pizza place. So I go in, I come out, I make a right, I keep going up to my place. Next thing you know, they put the pizza place on the opposite side of the street. It's on the left side. So I go in, make my left, I come out, I make a right. It's not till like 6 blocks later I realize I'm walking the wrong fucking direction because you moved your exact pizza place.
But
God
also,
damn.
you're doing head down on the phone, probably.
Yeah,
too,
I'm
right?
doing right, thinking I'm going the right way. No, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just not looking around. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have to say, there's a big point of pride for me when my daughter, who obviously is not staring down at a phone all the
Right.
time, she notices, like, she recognizes places all over our neighborhood now. And it's just like, oh, that's where that is. We went there before. And I'm like, oh my God, you are a full genius. You remember things so well. Your sense of direction is going to be amazing as like born and raised New Yorker, which I'm interested to see how it all unfolds. for her.
Right. You know what? There was an SNL skit the other day, and it was a cartoon about explorers making the roads for Manhattan. And it was and I thought they were talking to me to make me feel better. And like, so on the bottom of Manhattan, here's going to be the streets. Oh, fucked up every which way. Fucking cobblestone bullshit. It's going to be a mess. But then when you go higher, all the streets are going to be perfectly like a grid. It's going to make a lot of sense. And then we're going to name the avenues. What are you going to name them? First Avenue, Second Avenue, Third Avenue. The guy's like, Fourth Avenue? No. Lexington, Madison, Park. Oh, really? Then what? Fifth. What? Okay. Then what? Avenue of the Americas. Okay. Then we're going to have a big diagonal road, like a Broadway. And that's going to cut everything for no reason into little triangles. And we're going to call those squares. And I'm like, all right, I'm over it. Fuck it.
Yes, it's true. They're challenging us still. It's true. And I mean, I've been here for over 20 years also. So I have my pride of like, I know how to get around. But
Right.
Ever since we have smartphones, we're just fucking stupid anyway. Right. So,
and again, I don't need New York City anymore because I don't go out and party. In fact, my partying now is keithandthegirl.com/VIP. We do Newsies show. We go back in for the last 20 years on that day and talk about each year what we talked about and see what words maybe we shouldn't have said. How's history repeating themselves? That kind of thing. It's very fun. Anyway, right before the show, I took a 5-hour energy drink. The show was about 2 hours. At the end, it was bedtime, so I took 3 hours later a sleeping pill, and I'm like, this is the adult speedball. This is crazy. Holy shit.
It's the adult speedball for sure. Oh, I will say, like, having a kid here, I feel like I actually appreciate New York in a much different way now. And anytime I go other suburbs out in the country, whatever, people are like, oh, it must be so hard to raise a kid in the city. I'm like, honestly, it feels easy to me in a lot of ways because there is something to
There's
do
always an
with your
adventure. Guys
child.
drinking his own pee. There's something to keep him busy like a playground.
I have a three-legged, no, not three-legged, but there's a person that's missing 3 limbs sitting in a wheelchair outside of
Okay.
our building
The opposite.
that Fran is used to seeing. She's like, hey,
Right.
how's it going? He looks okay today. Then we're on our way to the playground. Then we're going to a fucking dance party that's celebrating Chapel Roan. I mean, there's a lot
Right.
to do here.
Right. Hey, by the way, is it funny that Patrick's in the bathroom and Cory Booker was on stage for 25 hours and 13 minutes?
Yeah, what did he do? I wonder. How do you deal with that? He didn't drink any water?
So I caught the end of it, and he does look like he's doing this little pee-pee dance, like trying to hold it in, but I enjoyed it, and it is inspiring, but it's a little verbose, and I'm like, you could speed this up. Your point was to break the record of Strom Thurmond in 1957, who was against civil rights. That's a nice thing to put in the history books, telling us it's not the left side, it's not the right side, it's the good side, and there's the bad side, and let's make a little, decent disbehavior or whatever he said. So it was interesting, but at the end, some woman comes up and she's, trying to fill time, and it's like, we're good with filling time. They announced the record is broken. This guy's gonna shit his fucking pants.
Like, just let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go to the bathroom, have a sit, take a drink of water.
They wheel him out, and he's like pissing in a water bottle. He leaves his mic on by accident in the bathroom. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, I've got mixed feelings on the whole thing, quite honestly.
Like what? Because it's just literally talk?
Because it was a big old performance, and then he asked me for money.
I did. I got the text too, and I'm like, he's like, we did it. And I'm like, I think you did it. And you know what? Let me text you back. I wasn't there the whole time. I don't deserve this praise.
And like, what did it accomplish exactly?
Right.
What? And did you not vote one of Trump's nominees in like the very next day? Okay, cool.
I remember Kamala losing, and then I get a text, from her people going, donate here. The fight isn't over. And I'm like, I need a fucking minute.
No, what do you mean? I think it's over.
It's over honestly. For a bit. How about I regroup?
Jesus Christ. These fucking Democrats, I tell you.
Too much.
It's too much.
Is this a dumb question? Do you worry for your daughter? Or are you like, parenting is only 5 more years to go?
No, I mean, yeah, I of course worry for her. And I mean, I'm definitely on the pretty radical belief side. So they tell me, because I believe in
care,
equality, and human rights, so taking care of people, not bombing the hell out of people.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. I feel really safe in the bubble of Bushwick, quite honestly, and I'm really happy I'm raising her here. But the world is fucked,
It's funny when people try to use bubbles like a bad thing. Like, you're stuck in your bubble. Like, I'm not in the mood to sit down with a Nazi today.
Literally, I'm like, oh, you're scared of coming to New York? Yeah, be scared. Don't come here. Like, that's fine, please. Yeah, I like this bubble a lot. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's nice. It's nice here. But,
the garbage is to detract assholes.
That's right. I'm like, oh my God, the sewage. Yeah, you don't want to see it. Trust me.
I'll compost, but can I spill it all over the sidewalk?
Oh, they will. And they are. Yeah. That's right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fucking upsetting. I mean, it was one of the things that we talked about when we were talking about having a kid. It's like, does this even make sense? Should we be dog people just rescuing dogs, I mean, she's the greatest gift. She's like the best teacher. We're totally obsessed with her. We like our little 3 amigos thing we have going.
She doesn't teach you too much, though, right? Because that'd be a little stupid.
Well, sure, in the literal sense, but like
patience. What a blessing.
I mean, true. Honestly, it's like it's a hack joke, but it's also like she is kind of my greatest spiritual teacher, which like gross barf. I hate it, but I am a yoga teacher still, so
Right.
she is.
She's also teaching us a lot of curse words in Spanish right now.
Oh, yeah?
All of her friends are Hispanic at school, and she's the only little gringa, and she's coming back saying "coño" all the time.
Okay. Okay. Well, but one of the first jobs usually are restaurant work, right? Might as well be ready. Or maybe you don't want to know. I kind of didn't want to know. I knew that smile wasn't good. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Maricone. Are you calling me an American? You know.
How you doing? Everything okay?
Yeah, sorry about that. I really got sideswiped.
You got carried away.
I was just saying it's funny. Cory Booker did 25 hours, but anyway, he's back. Well, you're just in time for the final segment, Celebrity Rape Corner.
Oh, fun.
Here's today's guest, Russell Brand.
Ooh!
Oh, shit.
I thought he was already convicted and somehow hiding out in
Yeah.
Thailand or something. I don't know.
I think this must be, I didn't read it, but it must be like a very specific allegation from
Well,
a
I think
person.
he actually got indicted.
Right.
Indicted 4 women, multiple
Oh.
years.
Yeah.
Oh.
1 count of rape, 1 count of indecent assault, 1 count, you know that means rape. 1 count of
Yeah.
oral rape, 2 counts of sexual assault.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm looking at our bookshelf to make sure I did throw
Yeah,
away
did
his
you get
book.
rid of his book?
I think I did
Good
when
for
it
you.
all came out originally.
He got a little walkie walk, and that was the clue to me. You know, it came out in the news, people saying that he raped them, and then all of a sudden he's this Jesus freak on social
Right.
media. Did you notice
Yep.
that timing?
Well, but he also went, this was after he went like anti-vax, right? Like,
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it all
okay.
goes together. It's when he went right wing. It's when Louis C.K.
Yeah.
went right wing. When you get in trouble, you go right wing. Hey guys, you're right. All the names are running together now of comedians, and it's like, oh yeah, it is what do you call that? Cancel culture bullshit. It's like, oh, because this is the side you're grabbing on. Meanwhile, you know that all your friends did rape, but
Yeah.
jump on that anyway, and so
Yeah.
that you're like, right, guys, we're all gonna play dumb, right? Impractical
Yeah.
jokers, fellow man.
I feel like there should be a support group for comedians who admit that they would not rape, but they would indulge more than a normal person should if they had the chance, if they had the resources and the money, and they could. If
Wait, what do you
I'm
mean?
admitting
Did you get all
that
the pee out?
I think what I'm admitting to is like some of these people just went unchecked with too much power and
Well, sure.
and wealth.
Oh, I
and
see.
Like possible and not.
They can't be
possible,
themselves. They can't be poly, so they go crazy.
Yeah, well, they're repressing something and like they're hiding things, and so they end up doing all this weird shit because they don't want to deal with certain things. So it's like, if I already know that I have the propensity for these things, like I wish I could help other people see that like there's a healthy way to go about some of this stuff that you think you might be into.
But that's like so advanced, like emotionally so advanced.
Sure.
It would require so much like acknowledgement of their behavior.
Right. And they don't have a kid to teach them things. So how would they even know that?
That's right. They don't have their greatest spiritual teacher.
Like it could be like just like before you become a scumbag, read this book or something.
Well, I'll tell you,
Right.
when I got tipped off to old Russell was when he started getting really into yoga. Okay.
Mhm.
Because
Not nice.
as a yoga teacher, there are a lot of fucking creeps. Actually, most of the
Really?
creeps are the ones that brought yoga to the Western world. Yes.
Oh, goddamn.
like
That's too
they're everywhere. Talk about rape corner. Whoo!
Right. It's like the Scarlet Witch giving witches a bad name. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
You know what I mean? It's a
It's
shame.
a real damn shame.
So Russell Brand, just before the show, put out a video saying, it's beautiful that I get to go and defend myself in court. Of course not. What I did, and does the regular thing that all these people say. Yes, in the past, I was a drug addict, a sex addict, but never would I ever rape. That's crazy. And then he turns to the side. He's on a beach somewhere. I believe in America. He's wanted in the UK. He turns to the side. He's like, sorry, I was just laughing at my beautiful kids having fun. I'm like, you were just accused of fucking rape. I would be public and go, no way. But I wouldn't find something funny in the corner.
No,
Nothing's funny right now.
Especially like having like mentioning your kids. Too.
Right.
Like,
And then he
gross.
brings up things going on in the UK that I don't know what he's talking about, but you can tell the general public isn't happy with. It would be like he's saying it like if he was American and he said, "Isn't the law bullshit sometimes?" Like, what about these tariffs, guys? What about, like, we can admit, right? Things are crazy. What about book burning? What about however you feel about drag queens personally? Isn't it crazy? Anyways, I look forward to defending myself, which always ends up bad.
I might have went a little overboard with the diddling, but can you believe that I didn't crash the economy this week?
I mean, but we can't even decide on daylight savings time. Do we keep it? Do we not? Does it help farmers? Everything's wookie hockey.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm selling an amulet. Praise God. Fucking weirdo. Fucking
Talk about a magician. My God. Look over here.
This news kind of upset me. There was something called a city killer asteroid, and it was destined to crash into Earth. Now, if you ever heard about that recently, now it's not. They're saying it's not. Oh, we are so close. God damn it.
They were adjusting the probability on that, like on the daily. They're like, oh, we're getting a lot of clicks if we change this from like 8.2% to 8.5% chance.
Trust no one.
In December is at 3. That's right. That's what Russell's saying. Trust no one.
Oh shit.
Oh boy, look into boy.
That's how it happens. The pipeline is
no.
real
I mean,
fast.
I do. We have abnormal sexual relationships, sure. In December, it was 3% chance of hitting Earth. Now it's 0. But they say, fascinating shit, NASA. Good, you're worth the money. The one thing Doge doesn't touch. Okay. Were we at the moon already? What happened? Okay. Anyways, do a soundstage thing. Do something. I don't give a fuck.
Truly.
But the asteroid now they're saying so that we stay horny might hit the moon.
Oh, they're edging us. Yeah, they're edging us with apocalypse.
Might hit the moon.
Your periods are gonna go fucking nuts.
It's the rest of the goddamn world.
It's gonna be like a cue ball. It's gonna break.
Oh man, me and my witches are really gonna have a problem with this.
Right.
Fuck.
The odds of striking the moon is 1.7%, jumped to 3.8%. It's going up. Let's see. And so it'll strike the moon in December 22nd, 2032. 2032? Let's go. Who cares?
Yeah,
we're not going to be around, ironically.
I'm ready.
End it. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're fast tracking, so 2032. Yeah.
Here's what you want to do. You want to check out the new special when it comes out. Mark your calendars.
Yeah, please. Thanks so much for mentioning it. I appreciate it.
Of course. Congrats.
People also want to check out our podcast if they have room in their podcast appetite.
Well, Qualification didn't come out yet, so we have time for the podcast. I got a fucking goddamn sitter for this, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
We hired a sitter for this.
Okay.
The podcast formerly known as
Who Cares About Ross and Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
But now we hired a sitter for this. We got a Patreon. We're asking for, pennies on the dollar, which is very expensive right now, as it turns out.
Which is fucking us, so do me a favor and until we get our shit together.
Yeah.
Anything else the audience should know?
I mean, follow us at It's Ross, Erin, Martineau. It's Patrick Holbert.
You're on social media.
On social medias. We're posting shit. We're funny and we're trying to support a family. Okay.
All right.
And we're gonna miss you in New York City.
Yeah.
But that's so exciting. I'm really happy for you.
It's cool. They have computers there too,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much. Let's see. It's 3:50 p.m. If I get you out of here right now, you can get back to your business at 4. Thank you guys so much for your time. I love you both. I mean it.
Thank you. We
too,
love
Keith.
you.
Take care.